it's been a tough order so far. Struggling with the brakes yesterday in practice.
Just another day.
Pace has not been there for Ferrari. And that will be so frustrating that the pace hasn't been there for one lap.
So the next like 3 moves, torque the cam caps, post plates and cams. That's all for today, and then also clean the garage. It's very messy. Got a big mess to clean up. I gotta be more organized, so that's the objective for today. So cam caps get torqued at 16. You want to start in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You go out. Always starting at this side. I tried to use the gun, but I guess I didn't go far enough. I was thinking about how I can prime this engine. I could put one through the system before I started. One of my favorite tracks is in Moda. That's turn 8 down to Aquaman around me. Start in the center, goes on the inside, and then go out, across. Rebasa. I was going to do this yesterday, but I lost my 12 deep socket.
Looking at that from Agile, there was an absolute melter starting Q2 up to 7th place.
These two have a plate. I need to get a new one, but I'm going to do this a bunch of times. I'm going to be doing valve to piston clearance with Play-Doh, and first cylinder 1. Going through that process. Next, I gotta take this off and put the cam timing on. But next is torquing these pulse plates, and then the cams themselves, 10 gears. I need to rotate. I need to do better with everything because I don't have chat. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you're right. There was nothing particularly remarkable about the variante outer for him as he lines up in 12th and makes a vengeance against an Aston Martin. Back to what you said, Alex, about the tyres. No one has just an absolute heap of mediums to go on. Everyone has loads of soft tyres because this is what we generally have for qualifying. So that's why we're seeing the softs, even if they might not necessarily be the quickest tyre. Stroll and Alonso both went on to mediums at the end of Q1 and it worked well. We will see now.
Okay, so next, there's 2 holes on the outside on these pulse plates. I need to line them up. How should I go about doing that? The torque of the pulse plates is 29. I need to rotate this counterclockwise. I think that's the 19.
We see the Ferraris coming across the line with Hamilton P7. Sorry, DC.
No, I was just going to say, with those team standards, managed to bring that for a sector back into a window. But while he was doing that, it was safe. It's gone for 56 on the 210s quicker than the standard. Let's hopefully stay on one.
I have no idea where my 19 is. My 19 is gone. Son of a bitch. Fuck. Yo, this is the tool I use the most to figure out what sizes. Yeah, it's Q2. Let's go.
had Thursday, his school friends come round and have a play date. He'll learn from all of these experiences. I'm not making fun of it just for the sake of it, but in all reality, Julian, you know exactly how it is in your
out in
first
Q2, that's
when
mad.
it's your home Grand Prix, you have more people around. They give you something, but they also take your time.
I
take your
gotta
energy.
rotate this clockwise. I gotta rotate this in the same.
3 will start at 21 minutes past the hour.
Yeah, clean this motherfucker up, man. It's dirty in this bitch.
Believe what they've seen. Both Ferraris are out before Q3 for the first time since Canada in 2024. Famous one, so close to the factory. Hamilton's wow, Kimi Antonelli. For the first time since the opening Grand Prix of the year, we're not making the top 10 shooter. I wonder when we come back to racing Italy, how different the picture might look. The whole of the European season ahead of us. The summer will come back after the summer break to Malta. Very different circuit with a whole different range of upgrades on the cars you'd have thought, although everyone's still looking towards next year at the big rule change. But I wonder if, on a very different circuit, the Italian crowd might get a bit of reward for turning up their massive support that they always pour into Ferrari, and now their Italian crowd on the grid. Okay, let's have a look at how Sainz was able to capture the fastest time. We've been talking about this all the way through the weekend. If you can time a toe, it can change your session. So a good lap from Carlos Sainz across all 3 sectors. But this start to the lap where he was the fastest in the first sector, very, very useful. That's how Verstappen took pole position last year, and that's how Sainz was able to take P1 by the end of Q2. It's really difficult to manufacture that though. Couldn't see which car it was. It might have been Aston Martin ahead, although they were one of the last across the line, so maybe it wasn't them. Either way, you need to try and time it with someone finishing a fast lap. You can't choreograph coming out of the pits, because you don't want to follow someone for the whole lap. You want it to be, as Sainz has now, or Verstappen had last year, they've given the beans to close out their lap as you're opening your lap, and then they get out of the way because their job is done.
A little over at 23. But hell, my range rover. Goddamn.
Next time we're saying, what is this on the McLaren? This is Gasly.
Most of my stream is me trying to find shit around
Second
the
one around this racetrack.
Let's go!
Excellent. Same again. And Gasly loves this place. He's been as high as 4th on the grid around this circuit. 2 top 5 starts in his Formula 1 career with a midfield runner in AlphaTauri in the past, and he's looking punchy once again. He is into the top 10 shooter.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Despite all the turmoil of that team, the core car, which is carryover chassis from last year, but everything else they've done is obviously very solid. And Gasly, an experienced fast race driver, he can be very happy with that so far.
So what are we going to see? We're going to see a load of medium tyres as the blankets come off, or is everyone going to stick to the softs that they've been running and hope that they've been working them out all the while and getting that little bit more performance out of them?
It remains to be seen, as in the slow-mo there, you can just see the flexibility of the front wing as it reacts to
That's not going anywhere, love.
If you look at the curves, right, well, not so much on that left hand, but we saw on the right. There's hardly any
Assembly a little bit on that motherfucker, so I don't fuck my
the
nose.
organ, the curve, and then the reaction.
Got too fat.
Huge front wings flattening away.
There's been an epic qualifying session so far, as it's time to set the final part of the grid. We have a green light at the end of the pit lane. We have the clock ticking down from 12 minutes. We have a top 10 to decide. Everyone pouring out onto the circuit. Again, Aston Martin commenced the session on the Red Bull soft tyre, the traditional tyre. They call themselves a ticket to the top 10, and they're back on the same compound as everyone else at the start of it. As we see our contenders roll out of the pit lane. A reminder for you, Max Verstappen has the most pole this year with 3. That's what Piastri has 2.
Damn it. This is too big. I don't have a 20-3, man. Another issue.
Monster been struggling in recent races, and Alto hasn't scored a point this season, remember? So now if they can bury themselves deep into this, it'll be even better on a circuit that is not that easy to overtake. Everyone seems to be heading out on the soft tyre for now, so it's going to be a like-for-like first roll of the dice for pole position that will be very important for race day tomorrow. So long way to the first corner. It's possible to pass at the first corner. Thereafter, it's going to be a long race of cat and mouse, we'd have thought. So, hooking it all up right now is going to be critical, and that, remember, has not been the strength so far from McLaren this year at this part of the Grand Prix qualifying. So Fernando Alonso has out-qualified Lance Stroll at every single Grand Prix qualifying session so far this year. It's the first time that he's made it into Q3 this season. So the team trying something different with the strategy, and they managed to get both cars through for the first time this year. We've got Aston Martin taking part. Sadly, we do not have Ferrari and Hamilton. So he's 5-4. The second part of qualifying. This is Q3 though, low fuel, attacking laps, and the soft tyre on the cars at the moment.
I already did this. I'm really trying to move this motherfucker. I can't move it. Not without making any damage. I need
choosing not to fall into that benefit.
Another issue.
On the straight, but disadvantage of flexibility thereafter. So he's got plenty of space.
As a string would be
No one has the benefit of the turn 1 slipstream on this lap. So Norris starts his flyer.
My last resort. Oh shit, it works. Wow.
Heading down towards the final corner.
This is a big lap for Lando Norris, who has been quick at every single weekend so far this year in Formula 1 at various stages of practice, qualifying and the Grand Prix. And it's Q3 that has provided plenty of hurdles so far. He's looking for a foundation lap that gives him the chance to attack later on, and he's all over the curve through Caratella.
Absolutely giving it everything at the start of this middle sector. Through Aqua Minerale then, the two-part right-hander. And Piastri is a 10.5 up on his teammate in the first sector. It wasn't the best opening to the lap, but through the weekend, it was in
15-16.
in the
It worked out.
Third, as they head now down towards the race.
I gotta break out some more assembly.
That first sector time further down, well over a tenth on Piastri. And what really struck me, Julian, was just how controlled
That two
the
back,
McLaren was as he climbed out of Aqua
on Amazon.
stability.
The good stuff.
Okay, first over the line. Lando Norris with a 14.9. He immediately backs out of it. We go on board with the Australian driver Oscar Piastri, trying to be ahead of his teammate once again in Formula 1. This was the weakness last year. It's turned into a strength. In 2025, he's ahead by nearly a tenth and a half, but they're both at threat when it comes to the reigning world champion Max Verstappen. 1 corner to go.
Russell's in this as well on a flyer. Max is right up to the gravel out of the final corner.
He's got the most poles this year in Formula 1, and he's got provisional pole in Imola with run 1. 7 minutes to go, and it's 0.04 of a second better than Oscar Piastri. Russell continues with a strong lap time, but it's not strong enough to threaten those at the front. And the top 4 in the order are separated by just over 2.5 of a second. It's Verstappen ahead of the 2 McLarens. Piastri ahead of Norris, Russell and Moore, Hadjar 5th at the moment, and the Aston Martin 6th and 7th. The Williams pair have been quick all weekend long. Gasly has been strong in practice. And we see what Alex Albon can do. Can he get ahead of the Aston Martins? That's got to be the aim for the Thai driver. He gets into 8th position. What about Carlos Sainz? With a slipstream from Gabriel Bortoleto last time out, he was fastest. This time,
We've been talking about, and he can also run down to turn 2 in the first braking zone. Here he's done it all on his own, and you can see the difference. 1.5 tenths Verstappen takes on Piastri. He takes 3/10 on Norris in the first part of the lap, and then it just slightly goes back towards the McLaren as the lap goes on. Damage is done. through just the first 2 chicanes. Quite high speed, quick change of direction. Red Bull are strong in high-speed corners, and Max is strong around this circuit. That's going to be tough to beat.
I can't find his shit.
Psychologically, the feeling that it gives you of power is probably the wrong word, but knowing that you've got the time that others have to do, you'll know instinctively where you can improve on the lap, and you would be foolish not to back him to put that into play.
There's nothing.
Rally. And they're all hesitant, and that's exactly, Julie, what I was highlighting. When we looked at that when it was Lando Norris and McLaren, the way he was able to go through the compression and then rise up into the curve, the McLaren looked like it was on scale electrics.
Yeah, really great and it helps them on race day, it helps them get the tyres alive as well, and it is their big strength, and that's why they have the fastest tyre in the field. They're probably getting up their hill, it's difficult to get traction on, as we saw with Russell there, and Norris was stronger. So that cost George a little bit of time.
I thought there would be another hole on that side. So this 14-17. And then intake is 83. Alright, got it together.
Doing the same thing. Meanwhile, the current top 3 are on the soft tyre once again. You heard from DC about this magical moment, about the drivers at the limit. DC has taken pole position around this circuit on 2 occasions. Are we going to see a strategic gamble with the tyres work for George Russell for his first pole of the year?
And the exhaust is 51.
I don't think he's got much to lose. There is that big gap between Russell and everyone else. There's no Antonelli in this, there's no Ferraris in this. Is he going to be beaten by, in a vertical midfielder today? I don't think so with the time he's put on the board. So Mercedes have looked at Aston Martin and they thought, we'll have a go. We'll have a go and see if this does give a bit of pace, if it prompts him a couple of tenths. Then he could be on top. It's worth a grab.
There are the previous pole position holders. Verstappen, the last 2 runnings. Hamilton in 2021. Bottas took the first pole here at race election by Hamilton into Michael Schumacher in 2006. Last time we ran this race under the name of the San Marino Grand Prix. It's the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix these days, and it is Verstappen, Piastri out there.
Alright, I need, okay.
So it's getting a little bit hot under the collar because we've got 90 seconds left as everyone gets on with it.
He needs to pass Gasly because he's under pressure for actually getting a flying lap in. And now, just behind it, we get our first attempt at pole for Oscar Piastri then. Starting the lap, he's a good way ahead of his rivals at this point. He's by far the first of the contenders to start it, so let's watch him through the first couple of chicanes. Nick and tidy through Tamburello. Just a little bit of chicane now where you can slow down his big smack. This is a long time ago now. It's an improvement for Piastri. In fact, it's much better for him. He's now into the realm of the Verstappen's going through 71. He's looking at McLaren is better as the lap goes on.
Yeah, I think that officially means it's on, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Piastri trying to put himself into a position that he scored in China and Bahrain when he was on pole position this year.
Well, I mean, I can't.
He's looking for a clean lap, having improved significantly in the first part of it.
If I had
That's
nothing to
exactly
lock
what
it
he's
on.
doing. He's a 10th up on Max's Verstappen's time. The crucial Rebacca corners to come.
He looks glued, he looks absolutely glued. There's a line of cars ahead and they're all going to be bunching up trying to get their laps in at the end of this one. Russell jumps out of the way and their sights and they're all hovering out of the way. A potential pole up here for Piastri.
Well, Piastri would have been distracted by that, but it's good enough to go to pole position for Oscar Piastri by a tenth of a second. They're queued up in front of him.
Why?
To Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. Will they all get over the line to start the lap? George Russell does get over the line with 2 seconds to go.
Yeah, but Norris is not quick enough in that first sector. Verstappen, on the other hand, has lowered it further, so we are going to have a shootout for pole.
Alex Albon goes up to 5th position in the Williams. It's frantic out there once again. Norris is hustling the car, but he's not finding personal bests.
So Max has got Oscar Piastri by 2 tenths in the first sector. So how can the Red Bull cling on around the rest of the lap? Lando scrabbling into the final Rebacas. I don't think he's done enough here.
Verstappen does not have a personal best in the middle part of the lap. Can Norris find something inspirational at the end? No. He remains in 3rd position. And now, how much risk will Max Verstappen take? He's got 1 corner to go. He's the left-hander. How early does he apply the throttle? Good grip from the rear of the car. Verstappen versus Piastri for pole position. And he misses out. Max Verstappen misses out by 300ths of a second.
George Russell is on a tiny lap on his medium tyres as well. Let's not forget about him because he has done a good improvement in the middle sector.
Carlos Sainz is about to cut the beam and got the 6th position. Well, he's looking to do a top 6 performance in qualifying 3 times. Russell over the line, and he's missed out by a tenth of a second. He gets ahead of Lando Norris on the medium tyre, so they improve a place. Norris down to 4th on the grid, and Piastri versus Verstappen was separated by 300ths of a second. But it's Oscar Piastri for the 3rd time this season on pole position.
Let's go!
The man who thought he had the front row last year and was demoted by penalty in a straight fight with the man whose title he's trying to take. He's on pole.
You are on pole position.
Great job, buddy.
Oh, I was going to lose my if that last corner and cost me pole. Well done, everybody. It was not the easiest session.
I love guys like that.
How is he so calm? He's delivered a massive bowler. That one is a big one for Oscar on a circuit that's not easy to overtake. He's got Max alongside him and I'm already looking forward to that at the start tomorrow.
Okay, now it's time to clean up this motherfucker. But I did not do this end. I was thinking it might be on a little bit further.
Oscar's on pole. Max Verstappen pushing all the way. He's on the front row. George Russell using the medium to 3rd position. Lando Norris is in 4th. Lando Alonso is in 5th position.
On a scrub medium. On a scrub medium for Alonso.
On the scrub medium car wasn't in the box fresh. Don't worry. It was ahead of Sutton, ahead of Albon. Not strong as it is. Actually saying he wasn't going to be happy if he was denied by that last corner. Maybe we would have seen Oscar lose it, as he said on the radio. Instead, those fans are happy and we are set for an epic Grand Prix.
Yes, we are. 3 different teams once again in front. I'm amazed that more people didn't try the medium still. I'm sure it's the faster tyre. When you look at what Russell's suddenly done with Mercedes up into the top 3.
this year. Everywhere we've gone, Piastri no further away. Pole position in 2/10 of a second. He's only been on pole no further away than 2/10 all season.